All right. So get this.
Oh Lord.
This is the best. This isn't really a thread, but like there's like a new, I guess this group's coming together. They want different names for water.
Oh.
We got to switch it up.
Okay.
Someone tweeted, "Water is like the oldest beverage ever, and somehow it has no nickname or cool nickname.
Mm-hmm.
No one is ever like, sure could go for a cup of that clear." Huge oversight in my opinion. So it just led obviously to a trail of what I think are amazing substitutes.
Okay. Okay. Not what you not what you slurping like that.
Someone said sipping on that moist,
Ugh.
old splashy. What about this? Fish fuel. Give me some of that fish fuel.
Remember I called it ocean juice and you didn't like that.
So that is one of my favorite ones.
Ocean juice?
Ocean
You
juice
got
is on
on my
here.
shit about ocean juice.
I don't remember when you said that. Why did that ever come up?
I said ocean juice on a We Trippin' wrap up.
And what
And you was
what
like,
context?
ocean juice?
What context?
I had said, speaking of juice, and I started talking about the ocean. And then I was like, ocean spray, ocean juice.
Oh, as a substitute for water? Okay, you thought of it
I
first.
got it. Okay.
Great.
Ooh,
Good job.
Yes.
Ocean juice was a good one. You gotta give me a bottle of that Fish Home.
Ugh.
Shrimp sweat. How about one of my favorites. Give me a cup of that rain.
Rainwater.
Cup
Ugh.
of damp.
Oh, I got it.
What?
Give me some of that drizzle.
A cup of drizzle is pretty good.
Cup of drizzle. Let me get some of that mist.
It says in Asia they call it sky juice.
Thick mist.
That's my favorite so
Sky
far.
juice is cool.
Sky juice.
What about thick mist? Let me drink some of that thick mist.
Sky pea?
I mean, God's tears.
Ooh, said finna go drink Ice's blood.
God's tears.
I don't like to think I'm drinking God's sadness.
Isn't
kinda
that what they
weird.
say when it rains? That God is crying on us?
I don't like to think of it like that either. Just like, what did we
Remember
do?
when?
What did we
have
do
you
to
seen?
make God cry like this?
Have you seen The Passion of the Christ? You
I
remember
never
that?
saw that movie.
What?
Yeah, no appeal.
It was so good.
Everybody was like leaving crying, and they're like, "It's brutal." He gets his ass whooped
He
for 3 hours straight,
Yeah.
and they were clawing at his. I heard the word flesh way too much when people like
Yeah.
reviewed it, and I was just
Oh,
like,
it was wild.
I'm good.
Well, as soon as they puncture him, as soon as he dies, it rains, and that was God crying because they killed his son.
Man, I don't see why it wouldn't be raining during the murder.
No, it wasn't.
Right when his heart stopped.
Mm-hmm. Right when he
Um,
came back up there with him.
You know, I'd be scared. I'd be a little scared if I was part of those Romans and we were like, "You're not the son of God, get him,"
Right.
and did all that stuff to him, and then when he died, it started raining. I'd be like,
Just all of a sudden, it was like
Uh-oh.
an earthquake. Right.
Did we double check?
We done fucked
Did
up.
we double check our sources? I would have been tripping.
All right. You ready for this? Speaking of religion.
Wow, you did the.
You ready?
You did the transition without being ready.
I'm over here singing gospel songs. He trying to give me this gospel dong. I pray.
What?
I can't even finish it.
Because
Fuck.
it's that bad.
No, it's good. Listen, I'm over here singing gospel songs. He trying to give me that gospel dong. I prayed to the Lord while he's inside. Dig so divine, it made me cry.
Oh, you should have said, speaking of blasphemy. The hell are you talking about? I mean, call me a hater if you want. Gospel dong ain't it. It ain't it. You can have your little fans online be like, "Oh, he's hating. Those are such good bars."
Bars.
Persephanii. No.
You
Gospel dong is trash. I didn't even hear the rest.
Well, I said I prayed to the Lord
No, you don't
while
have
he's
to- you don't have to
inside.
double-
Dig
double.
so divine, it made me cry. Ooh.
That's wild.
That was.
That
So you
was
don't
a
like that one?
Insane transition into nothing.
You're horrible.
All right.
Damn. I thought that was pretty good.
Let's get into this. Let's get into this episode because
Okay.
what the hell was that?
So you didn't like it.
Let's go on record saying yes, I did not like it. Threadgicles.
Okay. What you got?
Mine's actually pretty deep.
Oh, you got a deep one?
No, it is not deep, but it's deep, you know? Check this out. How a girl in my biology lecture found out her dad wasn't really her dad by my professor. A thread.
Uh-oh.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
You gotta be careful as a biology teacher teaching certain things because you could ruin everything.
Right. Okay. Mine is, how did you know it was time to end that relationship?
How did you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there was some pretty fun answers in there.
Mm-hmm. There's
So
that moment is it's interesting because you kind of get everything at once, and it's just like there's no like. It's almost like you don't fight it. It's almost accepting all at once, and it's more like a, oh man, well that sucks, as opposed to like being mad. You're just like, ugh.
you're like, fuck, man. Well, on to the next.
All right, who's going first?
You want a Rochambezy?
Why not? Rock, paper, scissors, then go, right? Rochambeau, boom. Cut the wick.
Snip me out.
You know, I learned a lot about this game.
What?
Switching up the rules to rock, paper, scissors kind of like messes with the strategy a little bit because you don't really understand it. But then I learned
And you
from
learned.
just tons
so
of
you
L's.
just about to beat me every time now.
Learn from that. I took a lot of L's, but now I'm the champ. All right, how a girl in my biology lecture found out her dad wasn't really her dad by my professor. A thread. All right.
All right.
So put yourself in this classroom. Remember them days when we were in class?
Mm-hmm.
I remember those big old auditoriums
Health.
and stuff. Yeah, you had to pick a seat that wasn't really close to anybody else, you know. Anyways.
I'm not following.
Because it was such a big room usually, those big lecture halls. So it'd be like weird to
Oh, you talking about in college?
yeah, walk up on somebody
Okay.
and sit like in the seat right next to him. It was like movie theater rules. All right. So on Monday, we were discussing blood types, and this girl was trying to figure out why her blood type didn't make sense on her Punnett square.
Okay.
I roughly remember the Punnett square. That's the one that had the things.
I don't remember it.
She told the professor her dad was O and her mom was A, yet she was AB.
Ooh.
My professor.
Ooh, shit.
It's already crazy.
Oh my god.
This is the part, like, if the professor really knew, he'd be, you know, I don't know. There should be a plan B for that. My professor explained that that's impossible, and she's confused on the blood types or something. She even drew out the different Punnett squares to show her. The girl was persistent, and she wasn't wrong on the blood types and was confident that there was something wrong with how the professor was doing it. Okay, so you know, if they were just like, you don't know what you talking about, then they were probably like, all right, let me drop this bomb on him.
Extra embarrassing. Like, she's about to get obliterated.
Yeah, she should have just been like, I don't understand, professor, please
Right.
help me, as opposed to like,
You don't know what you're talking about. Right.
Did this thing? Okay.
Damn.
So this professor.
I already feel bad for her. I
Yeah.
just know
Oh,
she's
my
about to
God.
get blown up.
So my professor told her to talk to her parents to double check the blood types and all and make sure the information was correct. You got to always do that first. Because what probably gave her confidence was knowing the blood types as a fact.
Right.
So it's like when she gets the paper, then it's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I got this. And she was probably just like, ugh.
Yeah, you get that little ego once you know. Like, it's like in Uno, you got 4 cards left.
And you let
but
people talk to you?
They're all like, it's just you and one other person, and they're all like, not wilds, draw 2s, draw 4s, reverse, skip.
You know it's
And
coming.
you know,
and
you
see
know
them
it's
laughing.
coming, and they sitting there talking shit.
They
Like,
got one card left.
Uno.
I'm up out of here.
Yes, you are.
Bam!
Bam. Now go cry in the bathroom.
All right, so here's the worst part, because I thought that this was a one-on-one matter.
Ooh.
It says, so in capital letters, she comes back to class today, and my professor made a point to ask if she was mistaken or confused. So it was kind of like one of those things. She might not have said anything when she came back, but it was just like, hey, what's the
So-
verdict, you know?
Let me ask this. I don't know if you know the answer or not. Is this out loud during class as part of the lesson?
I'm assuming it is, because it's written from the point of view of another student.
Oh, shit.
So it seems like
It's just getting worse and
like
worse.
this is like big hall filled with students, college professor at the front. And remember earlier it said that they had a back and forth, and the professor kept drawing out the Punnett squares for her.
Okay.
So this was like a
Oh.
public, like, you don't know what you talking about. My blood type is AB, whatever.
This is about to be a public shaming.
Ooh, so she comes back to class today, and my professor made a point to ask if she was mistaken or confused. This girl is ballsy, let me tell you. She announces it to the entire class of 243
Get the-
people.
What kind of class is this that has 250 people in it?
Shit, biology?
Oh,
I don't know.
that's some entire graduating classes. Oh, you ready?
Ooh, I didn't know this part. All right. Turns out her mom had an affair with her husband's brother,
Not the brother.
which is his stepbrother.
Oh,
So if they were blood, they would have got away with this.
right.
Stepbrother, different blood. So technically, she had been raised by her uncle and not her dad her entire life.
Oh, no.
Her mom hid it from the both of them for 21 years. Because my professor told her she was wrong with her blood types, she figured out her uncle was actually her dad and vice versa.
She told the class this? I would have kept that to the grave. I would have been like, you know what, professor? I got it mixed up. I was wrong. I'm really
You want some icing?
Oh, shit.
Now-
Squirted on me.
Her what?
Oh, the icing. You know how you squirt icing on a
Don't
cake?
ever tell
Damn.
a nigga to squirt it on you.
I will.
The word squirt is like even semen. That sounds weird for semen. It's like, yeah, squirt that
Yeah,
semen.
semen on me.
That semen demon on me.
Mm-hmm. Semen seed.
Here's the icing. Now they're getting a divorce.
Ooh. And she getting with the stepbrother?
What?
And she getting with the...
I don't think that was the update. But
Oh, I was just... Okay.
this lesson
That was juicy.
completely demolished the fabric of this family.
Oh, my God.
But when they say everything comes to light, it seems like she did everything for 21 years that she needed to do. Who would have thought enrolling her daughter into college was going to be her downfall?
Right. The demise of the entire family.
She probably had second thoughts about that school, and the
Mhm.
mom convinced her no, don't go to USC, go to this
Mm-hmm.
spot. They have a bomb biology program.
Okay, so my thread. How did you know it was time to end that relationship?
What an epiphany.
Think about yours, because I'm thinking about mine. Suddenly, everything about him was annoying.
That's one.
I've definitely experienced that, and I'm just like, oh, you're over me, because all I did was breathe. And you
Damn.
like,
He must have had bad breath.
no. I'm over exaggerating, but it was like every little thing he had a problem with, and I was just like, bruh, like, come on, I can't catch a break here.
That seems like a big one in marriages.
Mm-hmm. Hey, if you got to live with the person,
They just be like, oh, here they go again. Just like,
right?
damn.
You left the wrapper on the counter.
Uh-huh.
You're a fucking mess.
That was just, yeah,
you
that's
slob.
it's a lot of other stuff.
Right. That's just
a
the
lot of other stuff.
that was the straw.
Mm-hmm.
When I realized her happiness would cost me mine. Damn.
Wow.
That is deep. If I make her happy, I'm going to be miserable.
I didn't expect one like that in there.
That's
Her
really
happiness
good.
cost me mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, we got to eat again. I got to feed her again.
You're right. Like, I don't want to spend that
I'm trying
money
to
on
think
her.
of how deep
Damn.
that can go. That's insane.
Right? She wouldn't let him cheat in peace.
Shit.
I want
You
to fuck
again?
this bitch, but I can't because I got you.
Cost is crazy.
When I'm consistently having to check myself to see if I'm overthinking or overreacting, people will let you believe nothing's wrong when their actions are showing the very opposite. One thing I never needed was to sugarcoat sympathy. Keep it 100 so I can get the fuck on or help us figure it out. That's really good.
That's a grown one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we grow
Like,
up.
am I tripping? Like, is this happening or am I overthinking? Like,
Well, we also grow up to like, you don't want to hurt the other person. Everything that I could say could hurt the other person. When sometimes you be overestimating that. Like, they'll be like, if you would have just told me that, it would
Right.
have been fine. But you're just like, oh man, their world is gonna fall apart if
crumble.
I'm out, and it's not the case all the time.
right. This person said, when all of the comments are relatable.
All these past ones.
Yeah. They reading through like, damn.
I've only
identify with that.
experienced some of those. I don't think I've been at like their happiness costing mine. Damn. Oh, maybe.
Damn.
It's like an energy vampire.
Mm-hmm. That was in there. Energy vampire.
Mm-hmm.
She was on vacation for a week and a half. Halfway through that vacation, I realized I was the happiest I've been in a while. Damn, she took a trip away from you and you happy? Damn.
Being comfortable in space is a huge telltale sign, which is why I subscribe to not living with the person you're with. I think missing them is important.
Mm-hmm. Dang, this is kind of similar to what the guy said, but the female version. When I realized trying to make him happy was breaking my spirit and my confidence.
Damn.
So
That's
the
worse
first
than
guy,
his.
yeah,
At least his cost.
Right.
Like
Broke
my
up.
happiness costs yours. This
Right.
is breaking my
breaking
spirit.
my spirit
Damn.
and confidence.
She does not listen to Beyonce.
No, she need to.
Right.
We need to
Break my
slide
soul.
some girl.
Beyonce makes music to flip women like that.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
flip. That was an aggressive word, but like
She needs to listen to The Writings on the Wall, Destiny's Child, that album.
you won't break my soul.
That's
for
a
her.
good one.
That's for
That's
her.
a good one. She could listen to Me, Myself, and I.
Exactly.
You know. He says she was never wrong and she never apologized. Ooh, that never apologizing. And once you realize a person's never apologized to you,
Right.
then it's like, oh, we done talked about all this shit and you never even thought to apologize to me?
Not even the apology. It'd be the I didn't do nothing wrong. It's just like
Mhm.
you had that moment like, oh shit, they right.
Right.
Which is a crazy moment, but some people don't even address it.
Again, when everything she did got on my nerves. Again, he started to irritate me with every little thing. Kissing him made me sick.
Oh my
Hearing
God.
his voice made me sick. Looking at him made me sick. I couldn't stand to be around him. I just knew that the love was dwindling and it was time to end it.
Dwindling. No, she's
Dwindling.
making it seem like it was kaput.
Kissing
Kissing him made her sick. I
Yeah.
think she was way past the moment of realizing.
Every time she came, she's like,
Every time she came.
every time he came to her
Oh.
to kiss, she's like,
She got sick. You just told me to imagine what she said.
no, her reaction, like kissing somebody that you can't stand to me would make my stomach queasy.
Definitely
Like
no
it
tongue.
would make me be like,
They're definitely all pecs.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye. Thanks. When I found out he was entertaining other women and a dude.
So what was the straw?
The dude.
Was it the other women?
It was the dude.
It was probably the women like, oh, I'm done. And then it was like, oh, shit. Oh, I'm for real done.
She was probably gonna be cool with the other women, but just like give him hell about it. She was gonna give him hell about it. Once dude came, she was like,
she probably saw the dude's message and was just like, why couldn't it just be bitches?
Dog, that's what I'm saying. You can't compete.
Oh, it could have just been bitches.
Man, my philosophy on this is if your dude is, you find out he's into dudes, you can't compete with that because
Why not?
I done seen how the get down is.
So you think that bisexual men prefer the nigga side way more than the
nigga? What?
Really? It's never down the
seen
middle.
Some videos, and I was like, damn.
Some videos.
Yeah.
Of what?
Gay porn.
Okay. Emphasis on the gay. It's not a bisexual man getting it up the booty.
No, it's the head.
Okay, let's stop there.
Well, I'm just saying, I was trying not to go into it, but I've seen
that's
videos.
What you meant by
and
can't
I'm like,
compete.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Oh my God, nigga.
Niggas out here giving top better.
Nigga.
Because they've had a dick the whole time.
Ooh, Lord, look, I watched the video and I'm like, okay, I see the dick in the chest.
Holy shit.
And they're like, yeah, like they're like pulling like closer, and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't compete with that. So if he likes man lips and women lips, he gotta
man lips.
Different.
I got some man lip last night.
I'm
oh my God. Super deep duper pause.
I've watched it. I was just like,
what's crazy about that is there was like a time in like, I guess like middle school, high school, when we first start messing around with girls. It was like this debate between dudes. Like some dudes like was super comfortable telling they chick how to do it. You know, like you got to do it like this, doing the hand motions, like doing. And I was always like, I don't want to tell them how to do it. Like they don't got somebody else for that. I don't want to. I want them to kind of come already like prepared.
Because you got to imitate it in order to teach. You have to pretend like you're sucking
I felt like that was kind of. I mean, that was kind of sus. And the weirdest part was like, you could tell them. That was super weird to admit as a kid.
You could
but
tell
it's
them,
like you probably like every dude knows what they want.
Like,
so
move
it's
over,
like,
bitch. This is how you do it.
Side note: did you hear that rumor that Marilyn Manson took out his ribs to suck his own dick? Like when that kind of rumor came out, and it was like there were dudes like we were like debating whether or not we should tell the chick we were messing with how to do it. Like it's like it was like a small epiphany in the back that no one ever talked about. That was like I probably could suck my own dick pretty well.
I've seen it before. I've seen it before.
You've seen somebody suck their own dick?
Yeah.
That's fucking.
And it was horrid.
That sounds like a horror movie.
It was, and I got shadow banned for it.
For watching it?
Yes, because I was
Good.
on live.
What the fuck wait.
I was on live. I was on Instagram Live, and I used to bring people into my Instagram Live.
Oh,
and
you saw it live?
I saw it live.
Someone was doing that?
Yes.
So you think they pressed click to join in and then started going? Or
so
you think
he had
had
it.
his
He
dick
had
in his mouth when he
had the camera positioned already. So you know how when you request to go into somebody's live, when they accept you, the camera automatically comes on.
Damn,
so he had it set up between his legs, like on a table. So his legs was just completely open.
So it was the front view.
It was the front view. It was the underneath front view, low key.
Oh, I was gonna ask what the angle it was. So you saw all mouth.
So when I brought him on, because people were singing and dancing, it was really a good time. Everybody roasting in the comments. I have majority male followers. So when the camera came on, he was.
Oh, he was going in?
He was going in crazy. And I looked and I was like, what the fuck? And I threw the phone. So
instead of ending it,
because it scared me. So I threw the phone, and then I was like, I was trying to like end it, but you know how you have to kind of like
shadow banned.
You have to try to like hit certain buttons. You can't just.
He got some screen time.
He got a little screen time. I ended the live. I just cut it off. I closed Instagram because I couldn't even just.
That
so
is
I just
fucking
closed
crazy.
it completely, and then I got shadow bans. That was the
this
first
nigga's
time.
life like?
I don't know,
Who
but
does that?
But when I came back on live, because I came back on live to apologize to
Oh, you
the
were
people
banned
that
already?
were there. No. I hadn't been banned yet. I found out later, like, damn, I'm not coming up in the search. I can't go live. Like, what is going on? And then I put two and two together, like, oh shit, because that was the only thing on my profile that was like, that had happened.
It's horrendous.
So yeah, but the way he was gawking that thing,
Oh, it looked like he does that to himself every
does
day.
it to himself and
So
probably
there's
other
just
people.
a nigga out there in his crib sucking his own dick every day and trying to join lives to show it off.
He probably
and then
has a podcast hating women.
Fucking goes to work after that. Like, what is your day-to-day life? You just like, 6 o'clock, time to try to join a live and give some self-gawk.
Tell his son, I should have swallowed you.
Coming from the dad, that's crazy.
I should have swallowed you.
That's insane. All right, well, I'm assuming we're done.
I'm done. I'm done with that. But I was gonna ask you how have you known, like in your past or whatever, that it was time to end it. Mm-hmm.
A thought that I never want to have when listening to someone talk is ew. And that's like,
damn.
Like when somebody around you, and this isn't even relationships, this could be just somebody in the room, like that you're kind of just like, when you first meet people, you sort of like feel people out, or it could be just somebody that you friends with. They could drop like a point of view, or like the whole thing where like you see how they treat other people, like at restaurants, like you see how they treat like the staff, or like how they treat servers and stuff. It's not a. I think why ill is such a very prominent word for me to think is there's no deduction, there's no logic in it. It's not like, hey, why did da or oh, I can't believe. It's no processing. It's really just like, ugh, like that. It's for real. So I think when it comes to being in a relationship, it could be any one of those things that I mentioned, how they treat other people. It could be a point of view that they share. It could just be like something that they reveal to me that makes me uncomfortable. Like I have a very, with women, I kind of keep a arm's length, because there have been plenty of times that like weird agendas will pop up, or like weird, like almost like strategic. I'll catch like a strategic move or something like that, or just peep something that they're doing, and it would just be like, if I don't deduce it, if I don't try to figure it out, if it's just like, oh shit, then I feel like it kind of enters a world. Because some of your examples, when they said, when I kiss him, he makes me sick, everything, it sounds like they're already, it's done.
They're done.
When I first heard you bring up the thread, I thought it was like the moment of that starting. And usually a thought has a seed that's planted way before, and it kind of grows into a thought. So I think that's the first seed when I'm like, ooh, shit. All right, let's watch that. And I don't think I've never really been wrong about that.
Okay.
Even if it's just a seed that takes a long time to grow, So I think that's really it. It's like, that's kind of like the opening into a world of like, and then it might be like reversed for a little bit, but it's kind of always a thing, What about you?
Mine is when I don't care about what he's doing anymore.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Once I'm to the point where I'm just like, you won. You got it. I'm going to give you what I think you need, and that's the removal of myself. Once I don't care about what he's doing when I'm not around anymore, then that's where I'm just like, I know that emotionally I'm over it. And it's like, at the same moment, I will start to find myself becoming interested in other people.
It's like a
wanting
switch.
to entertain conversations
Mm-hmm.
with other people. These people could have reached out to me a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I not pay attention. And then once I'm kind of like over the situation, then it's kind of like, what's up, stranger? When before I had tunnel vision, then it switches and I'm just like, okay, well, I don't care what you're doing no more. So now let me figure out what I need to do to move forward. So
It happens all at once.
mm-hmm.
I noticed that a lot of women I was involved with, like from high school on, they would be in something else right after we were done, And I talked to one of them about it, and they actually just straight up told me, like, they were the type that kind of always needed, like, a boyfriend, you know? And this was, like, college-ish,
Oh, that's a real thing.
So they were young admitting that. So that kind of stuck with me because obviously niggas are like that too,
Mm-hmm.
And I found that it was kind of rare to see a woman go from a relationship, even if I'm not in it, but especially a relationship with me, to just like straight up single, even if they were maybe like talking here and there, like it was like for real single. And I noticed how mature that was because a lot of people either jump into something else just to keep themselves from feeling that emptiness and the hurt from the last one. But they also do it as a way to jab at the last person because it's just like, boom,
right,
new nigga, new bitch, type shit.
And that's the advice that is given too.
What?
It's like the only way to get over a nigga is to get under a new one. That's
terrible advice.
It's terrible advice. But it works because it does allow you to at least avoid some feelings because there's also some heartbreak is like the worst. That's one of the worst emotions to experience.
Which is why I think you shouldn't just shift that into a mask as opposed to like
you shouldn't
dealing with it.
You can either be the rebound or be looking for the rebound because it's really hard to deal with those emotions. I've kind of, in my past relationships, because I've gotten so much attention from other people, that it's been kind of an easier transition to talk to somebody else. Even if I don't decide to link up or anything, it don't even have to be about sex. Just conversing with someone and trying to just shift your focus is something that has been kind of a method to deal with heartbreak. I think at the age I'm at and at everything that I've gone through, I've told myself that I have to deal with whatever it is internally before I decide to move on to anything else, because I've never really been the type to be able to just sit and just be like, I have to experience these feelings. Like, I have to get through it on my own. I'm like, fuck this. I'm going out to the club. I'm going to take a vacation. I'm going somewhere. I got to do something. I got to be conversing with something, because I feel like as much as people want to say, like with women, like, oh, I don't need no man. You don't need no man. But I don't agree with that. I feel like we do. And when that is missing, that energy, that masculinity, that testosterone is missing in your life, it is kind of hard to me to move forward, because you want that. Right. If you're into men, like you want that. That's a integral part of relationship life. It can be, you can have all the friends in the world. Your parents can love you to death, like you can have a dog, you can have pets that just absolutely adore you. But if you don't have that romantic relationship, that energy,
you can't fuck none of those. I agree. I think it's the same with men and women. But I think that because we're in such like a hypersexual society, that it's pushed on us so much that people think that it's just got to be like, roster of niggas, roster of bitches, or just like one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. So obviously, I think people like prefer it because it's the companionship, it's fun, you know, you have the sex, all that stuff. But I think that what people don't really do is those, like, it doesn't have to be always, you know, because you kind of do need that time to yourself. And it doesn't have to be like forever, you know.
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily have to mean you're just, that's what you said is how I used to think of it. Like when people say you just got to take a break and feel those things, I was just like, so I'm just like in the bed, like looking at the ceiling, like yeah, heartbreak.
I don't miss her. I don't miss her at all.
It's not,
you know?
it's not like that. You're gonna experience those feelings if you really feel like that. You're gonna feel like that with your rebound too.
Yeah.
But I think
that's why they don't work.
Right. But I think where the maturity comes in is like it's not just sitting down and being like, oh, I feel these feelings. It's just kind of about doing your own thing, either not talking to anybody or just super casual dating. It's like not it's not that serious, and it's kind of it's really nice for me. I like it.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Because there was like I mean, in my 20s, there was like never a period of time where I wasn't talking to anybody, you know. But then later 20s, earlier 30s was when I kind of like had stretches of just like, damn, I'm not talking to anybody. This is kind of cool. You know, all the stresses that came with that is just like, obviously there's a preference and one is more fun, but taking breaks from them makes it not so you're not walking around as like 50% of somebody, you know.
I've always been a put all your eggs in one basket, which everyone says you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to put all your eggs in one basket, but I don't, you know, I can't spread my eggs.
Hilarious.
Like, I just can't. And it's not comfortable for me. So, like, dating or dealing with multiple men at once has just not been something I've ever really been able to do to my demise in the relationship world because niggas.
They got the bench.
Yeah, so it's like y'all, during y'all in the relationship, y'all talking to other women, y'all building relationships so that when and if your relationship ends with the main person you're dealing with, you already have, you know, you already have others on your roster, and y'all can just bring one up, bring the next one up.
I wonder if side chicks really get upgraded like that. They
do,
or if they just stay side and the main rotates.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because I think that happens more than
player.
I think it's like a DJ.
The next song,
it's a DJ. It's just like, yeah, I'm about to be the next one. It's like, wait, hang on, Young Thug just dropped. 1 second.
Hey, when I was younger, I was dealing with this nigga. And I was only fucking with him, but he let me know that I was part of a cycle, a trio. It was 3 of us that he rotated in between.
Tight.
And you know, that kept me from ever taking him serious. So at one point in time, this was a 5-year dealing with each other. And so at one point in time,
he was honest.
He was honest. I appreciated that because it's like, okay, I can't even trip because if I accept it and he was honest.
1 of 3.
Yes, 1 of 3. He used to tell it. He was like, yeah.
He said that more than once. He would remind you.
Yeah, no, because I wasn't able to develop those strong feelings for him like that because he let me know that I was in a rotation. So it was like, okay, you know, I'm in a rotation with him. So
it don't matter if you first string or third string.
Right. Because I didn't care.
Right.
You know, the sex was good. We did spend a lot of time together. The sex was good. But, you know, I would talk to other people, but I couldn't be intimate with anybody else. So when I was able to like talk to somebody and then develop little feelings for somebody else, then I would separate from him and, you know, see what I could do with the other relationship. If that didn't work out, then I jump back into the rotation until, you know, I found
jump
that
back
worked.
into the rotation. I picture like synchronized swimmers, like
it's like double dutch, like I'm about to jump back in. But what ended up happening, of course, is at one point in time I did, you know, start to develop because we started spending a lot more time together. And we worked together.
Bombshell.
We spent a lot more time together, and so I started developing little feelings for him or whatever. And I told him, I was like, I want to be in a relationship with you. told him straight out, and he's like, I'm not ready for that.
But you're
blah,
one
blah,
of
blah.
three.
Right, you're one of. I know I'm part of the cycle, the rotation, but I'm letting you know this is how I'm feeling right now. He said he wasn't ready for that, and that he still was, dealing with other people. And I said, okay. I separated myself for a little while, and started feeling. Yep. Yeah. It's like synchronized swimming in reverse. I jumped out.
So do you think that was better than him just saying okay and agreeing?
Yes. I like that he was able to be honest and say, I'm not ready for that. Because consequently, few months later, I don't know if his other rotatable chicks did the same thing as me, but he came to me and was like, you know what? I miss what we had, blah, blah, blah. I would like to be in a relationship with you. So it switched.
Waited out. You waited in the waters.
It switched.
Until the waters were clear.
Yep. Damn. Yeah. And so at that point, I ended up telling him, I'm not ready. Yeah, it ended up flipping back and forth. And then, crazy enough, by the time I was done with that relationship, we got back into our dealings with each other. But he re-upped the rotation. And so ultimately, it never worked. And his next girl ended up being his wife, which I was really happy for them because I didn't want to be with him. So
that's pretty crazy.
It's like a wild story. But
I think men are kind of just misguided into, like, it's almost like we think y'all are more serious because we're just being told by other men. And it's like we grow up thinking like every woman's trying to lock you down. Every woman's trying to marry you. Every woman blah, 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 blah. So like I just spent a lot of my young days just like almost like either just giving in to everything that the woman wanted, even though
it wasn't what you wanted.
Even if it wasn't what I wanted, I would just pretend to be somebody in a relationship, in terms of like, because we just don't think that saying what we're comfortable with is on the table,
right?
And sometimes it's not,
That's deep. That's deep.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like you say what you want, and then the woman respects it. And they're just like, I can't do that. Like how you said it.
Yeah, like you just have to give the person the ability to choose. Like if this is what you want, like you enjoy being with me, but you really want to be out here, like with every, seeing what all these other chicks is about, but you do like what we have. You have to be able to say that, like this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing.
Right.
I fuck with you. I like you. But you have to be able to accept if she's like, I don't accept that. I don't accept that. I don't want to be here for that. Or you have to accept that she says okay and might start dealing with somebody else in the same manner that you're dealing with other people.
A lot of people can't do that.
A lot of
niggas can't do that part because they want to have their cake and eat it too.
Exactly.
But I think that that's where the maturity comes in. It's just like, okay, if you're gonna be that honest, you have to call the thing what it is. And I think that's a very specific example. I think that there's a lot of other just honest things that we can do in terms of relationships that would make it kind of like more on the same page so that nobody is really like doing the most,
right?
And I just think that that's something that we're never told growing up because we're just trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm the perfect boyfriend,
right.
And then nobody, it's not like that on either end,
Right.
So I think it's just people are afraid to talk,
right?
It's kind of just like two fake people.
What was crazy about the situation I just told you about, when I told him I was seeing somebody else and that I couldn't be in a relationship with him, he was upset,
right?
And he was like, "What? You not my bitch?" I'm like, "No," and he was genuinely pissed off, and I'm like, yo,
yep.
You told me I was part of a rotation. How in the fuck are you mad when I stop seeing you to deal with somebody else? Like, make it make sense.
You know how like tigers.
Let me hear what you got. We gonna end on this note. Let me
You
hear
know
what
how,
the tigers do.
You know how like tigers be like, they like get another tiger pregnant, and then they'll be like, for sure, and then they'll go to another territory and be like, what? This bitch got babies? Kill them babies, get her pregnant, and be like, okay, that's about right, and then go over to this territory. And I don't know if I even have the animal right.
Lions be doing
This
that.
could be-
I think he's talking about
This
lions.
could be lions,
but
could be bears. I feel like a lot of, I know bears and lions do that. I don't know why I
lions,
said-
absolutely.
I just saw a bear thing that they did that.
The bears be killing the other
Baby bears, yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
That's why the mama bear be going so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's just in our DNA to be like pregnant.
Wait
Another
a minute.
nigga. You got another nigga.
Wait. You threw me off with pregnant.
But that's like
pregnant.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's just like a more animal way of
Niggas
saying
was
like
doing that.
bitches. You know.
Hey, look.
Who's this nigga bear?
The
you know?
generation before us, them niggas had
Secret
families on every other block.
Shit, 7 miles away because Google didn't exist yet. And be like,
7 miles.
I'm going
nigga,
to
3
Ralph's.
streets.
Little did they know Ralph's was their other kid's name.
Wow. And on that note,
all right, yeah.
This
Getting
has
outta
been
here.
another episode of Thick Threads. I've been your co-host, Persephanie.
And I'm Patrick Clown.
See you later.
That's how you be saying your name.